Hey guys, wanted to come on for a few minutes just to share something with you today. Excuse me. I was thinking about earlier how, the enemy can really twist things. And I just heard that in my spirit. God say, don't get it twisted. And I thought, that's a good word to share because so many times it's easy to get the truth twisted because that's what the enemy does. He takes the truth and he just twists it enough so that it still seems like a version of the truth when really it's just a lie. And that's how we get all twisted up and then lose our faith and lose our trust in what God told us because the enemy has taken a truth and he's just twisted it enough to make it seem like it's a truth. Kind of like what he did in the garden at the tree, how he took what God said and he just twisted it enough to get Eve to question it. Just twisted it enough to get her to think she was missing out. Just twisted it enough to make her question her promise, to make her question the authority that God had already given her, to make her feel like she was missing out on something that she had already had, to make her think that she was losing something or that she was less than, or that she didn't have enough, when everything that she needed, wanted, was already there, was already around her. And the thing about it is that the enemy was the one who was lacking. He was the one who was without. He was the one who was without enough. And he needed what Adam and Eve had in order for him to have any sort of authority. So many times the enemy would just come into our lives and he wants to twist what God's given us. He wants to twist the promise. He wants to twist the truth so that we release the authority that we have, that we release our promise. We let go of what's already ours, thinking that we don't have it, thinking that we don't have enough, because you know what the truth is that in myself, I'm not enough. And see, that's what the enemy wants to prey on, where I'm not enough. But I'm not supposed to be enough by myself. I was never supposed to be by myself. My husband's not enough by himself. He was never supposed to be by himself. Do you see? It's supposed to be a community. It's supposed to be relationship. It's supposed to be us and God, that God makes us who we are. He completes us. There's supposed to be a communion there. And when we start feeling like we need to be enough in ourselves is where the enemy can come in and start showing us how much we lack and how much we don't have, and really begin to prey on our fears and our doubts begin to arise, and we lose faith and we lose trust and we lose hope. And that's how it just gets twisted. So I want to encourage you today not to let the enemy get it twisted. Don't get it twisted in your mind what the truth is. Don't get it twisted what God said, because what God said is what God meant. And so we cannot allow the enemy to twist those things. And if you're confused or you're not sure, or the enemy is twisting something and confusion comes in, God is not the author of confusion. So the Bible says he's not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. Sound being something that is good, something that is whole, something that's working right. He didn't give us confusion. So I want you to think about that today. And if you are struggling with something, if you're unsure, if you feel like maybe I am getting this twisted, maybe the enemy is twisting me up into knots and I'm not sure, it's okay to go to God. It's okay to go to God. And what would have happened if Eve had gone to God and said, well, God, I'm not sure. What would have happened if she had gone and asked God and said, hey, God, this is what I think. This is how I feel. This is what the enemy is saying to me, or the serpent. And what's the truth, God? What's the truth? And when we can do that, God will really just shift our perspective and put us back in line with the truth, and put us back in line with what his word says, and put us back in line with our promise. And so, I just felt like that was really important to share that today, that we don't want to get it twisted. So, all right. I know that's just a little bit of a word, but I just hope that encourages you today and that it helps you to remember to go to God instead of sit in your mind and just let things roll around. You know, it's okay to talk to God about everything. All right. God bless.